All right, so get this. We're diving deep into omega-3s today. Those essential fats everyone's talking about.
Yeah, they're everywhere these days.
Seems like it, right? And we're basing our deep dive on this YouTube video.
Oh, cool. Which one?
It's called ¿Qué sucede si no consumimos omega-3?
Interesting.
Yeah. It's by a channel called DRLA Ursa.
Okay, I've heard of them before.
Me too. And basically, our mission today is to uncover why these omega-3s are so important, what happens when we don't get enough of them, and of course, the best ways to make sure we're getting enough.
Sounds like a plan I'm in.
Awesome. So, one of the things that really grabbed my attention was the idea that omega-3s are what they call essential.
Right, because our bodies can't make them on their own.
Exactly. We have to get them from our diet.
Which is where the problem lies, because
Yeah.
a lot of modern diets aren't delivering enough of these crucial fats.
That's what's so crazy about it, right? Like, we could be missing out on something so fundamental and not even realize it.
Yeah, exactly. And the video does a great job of explaining what happens when we don't get enough omega-3s. It's pretty eye-opening.
Seriously, it's not just about, forgetting where you put your keys or feeling a little sluggish.
Oh, no, it goes way beyond that.
The video connects low omega-3s to a whole bunch of issues, like heart problems, high blood pressure, skin conditions, even reproductive health.
It really shows you how interconnected our bodies are.
For sure. Like, something as seemingly simple as getting enough of a certain fat can have these ripple effects throughout our whole system.
Absolutely. And one of the key mechanisms behind this is something called myelin. Did you catch that part?
Yeah, they talk about how omega-3s, specifically DHA, are crucial for building that myelin sheath.
Right. Think of it like the protective coating around our nerve cells, kind of like the insulation around electrical wires.
Okay, I get it. So without enough DHA, our bodies can't produce enough of that insulation, and then the signals get all messed up.
Exactly. Which can lead to problems with thinking, concentration, memory, you name it.
Makes sense. And then there's whole inflammation factor, right?
Yeah. Huge. Omega-3s are powerful anti-inflammatories.
So when we don't get enough, chronic inflammation can set in.
And that's when those other problems start cropping up.
Yeah.
The heart issues, skin problems, joint pain you mentioned earlier.
Okay, so it's not just about being deficient in omega-3s, it's also about maintaining the right balance with another type of fat, omega-6 right.
Exactly.
And the video paints a pretty alarming picture of where most of us stand with that balance.
Well, it's true. Most modern diets are overloaded with omega-6s and lacking in omega-3s.
It's like setting ourselves up for trouble.
It really is. That imbalance pushes our bodies into a pro-inflammatory state which can speed up aging and cause cellular damage.
I was shocked when they gave that statistic about the average modern diet having a ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 that's somewhere between 12 to 1 and 25 to 1.
Yeah, it's pretty far off from the ideal ratio, which is closer to 4 to 1 or even 1 to 1.
It makes you think about those early humans who ate diets rich in omega-3s.
Right, they had larger brains than we do today.
Maybe our modern diets are impacting our cognitive potential more than we realize.
It's definitely a fascinating thought.
Okay, so we've established that omega-3s are important, and most of us need to up our intake. But it's not quite as simple as just eat more omega-3s, right?
Well, there are actually different types of omega-3s, each with their own set of benefits and coming from different sources.
Okay, so break it down for me. What are the main players?
You got it. So you've got DHA, EPA, and ALA-DHA is kind of the superstar when it comes to brain health.
Right. Crucial for cognitive function, vision, and heart health.
You got it. And some studies have even linked DHA supplementation to reduced aggression and lower stress levels.
Who wouldn't want that? So what about EPA?
So EPA is a powerhouse anti-inflammatory. It's also beneficial for our hearts and vision. And there's some evidence it might even help with concentration.
Cool. So are DHA and EPA both found in similar foods?
Well, they're both found in fatty fish, but DHA is actually much more concentrated in the brain compared to EPA.
Got it. And then there's ALA, right?
Yep. That one's primarily beneficial for heart health, especially when it comes to improving cholesterol levels.
Okay. So now that we know the different types and what they do, tell me, where can we find them?
I knew you'd ask that. So for ALA, you're looking at plant-based sources like chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts.
Plant power.
Exactly. But for EPA and DHA, we're turning to the sea. Fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines are your best bets.
I love salmon. What if you're not a big fish person, though?
Good question. There are always fish oil supplements, and you can even find algae-based options that provide EPA and DHA.
Interesting. Are there any other sources people should know about?
Well, the video mentions krill oil as a high-quality source, and it comes with some bonus benefits, too.
Oh, like what?
It contains astaxanthin, a powerful antioxidant, And it's also got phosphatidylcholine, which is a vital building block for healthy cells and nerves.
Wow. So krill oil is kind of a triple threat.
You could say that.
Okay, so we've covered food sources, but the video goes beyond that, right?
It does. It talks about other factors that can influence our omega-3 intake.
Like what?
Well, for starters, the quality of the animal products we eat.
Makes sense. So grass-fed beef versus conventionally raised beef, for example.
Exactly. Animals raised on pasture tend to have higher omega-3 content.
It all comes back to those food choices.
It really does. And then there's the whole issue of oil oxidation.
Oh, right. Those delicate omega-3s can go rancid when exposed to light and oxygen.
Exactly. So storing those oils properly and consuming them quickly after opening is key.
Definitely don't want to let those precious omega-3s go to waste.
And finally, the video highlights how everyone absorbs omega-3s differently.
Interesting. So even if two people eat the exact same amount of salmon, they might not absorb the same amount of omega-3s.
Right. Things like gut health and bioproduction can play a role.
Okay, so it's not just about what we eat, it's also about having a healthy internal environment that allows us to properly absorb and utilize those nutrients.
Exactly.
This is already making me think about my grocery list.
I hear you. We've covered a lot of ground already, but there's so much more to explore. When we come back, we'll dive deeper into practical steps you can take to boost your omega-3 intake and make sure you're getting the most out of these essential fats.
Can't wait. Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back with more on omega-3s. Know all the things, so we're back and ready to dive even deeper into the world of omega-3s.
Sounds good. You know, one thing that really stood out to me from that video was how they busted that myth about ALA conversion.
Oh yeah, that whole idea that we can just eat plant-based ALA and our bodies will magically convert it all to EPA and DHA.
Right. It turns out it's not that simple.
So what's the real deal?
Well, the conversion rate is surprisingly low, often less than 2%. And it can be even lower for some people.
Seriously, that low? Wow.
Yeah, so it's definitely not a reliable way to get all the EPA and DHA we need, especially for people who are vegan or vegetarian.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's the solution for them?
Algal oil supplements are a great option. They're derived directly from algae, so they're plant-based, and provide EPA and DHA directly.
Okay, good to know. So it's not just about what we eat, it's also about understanding how our bodies actually use those nutrients.
Exactly.
Which brings us to putting that knowledge into practice.
Right. Remember those practical tips from the video?
Yeah, they had some good ones.
Like protecting those omega-3 oils from light and oxygen.
Oh, right. Storing them properly in those dark, airtight containers and keeping them in a cool, dark place.
Exactly. Got to prevent them from going rancid.
And what about those seeds, like flax seeds and chia seeds?
Grinding them before you eat them can really help boost absorption.
Oh, interesting. I usually just toss them in my yogurt or oatmeal whole.
Give grinding a try. You might notice a difference.
Okay, well, I also remember that part about different cooking methods impacting omega-3 content.
Yeah, cooking those fatty fish at high heat can actually damage those delicate omega-3s.
So gentler methods like baking, poaching, or steaming are better.
Exactly. And don't forget portion sizes.
Right, even healthy fats still have calories.
Everything in moderation.
Okay, that makes sense. Now we've talked about food sources, supplements, cooking methods, but there's one more piece of the puzzle that's super important.
Let me guess, gut health.
You got it. Seems like the gut plays a role in everything these days.
It really does.
Yeah.
Even if we're eating all the right omega-3 rich foods and taking supplements, if our gut isn't functioning well, it won't matter much.
It's like having a leaky pipe, right?
Perfect analogy.
Yeah.
So nurturing a healthy gut microbiome is essential for maximizing those omega-3 benefits.
Okay, so how do we do that?
Well, the video mentioned fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi.
Those are all great sources of probiotics, right?
Exactly. Those beneficial bacteria that keep our gut flora balanced.
And what about prebiotics? I always get those confused with probiotics.
Probiotics are the good bacteria themselves. Prebiotics are like the food that feeds those good bacteria.
Okay. So we need both. What are some good sources of prebiotics?
Think onions, garlic, leeks, asparagus, bananas.
Okay, I can definitely work those in. And of course, fiber is always a champion when it comes to gut health.
Absolutely. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes.
So a diverse and colorful diet to keep those gut bugs happy.
Exactly. And don't underestimate the importance of staying hydrated and managing stress. Both can impact gut health.
It's all connected.
It really is. Now let's circle back to supplements for a bit.
Okay, good idea. It can be overwhelming to choose the right one with so many options.
It definitely can. So fish oil is the most common type, and it's generally a good option, but quality matters.
Right. Got to watch out for those fishy burps too.
That's true. Fish oil can have that side effect. Krill oil is less likely to cause that.
Plus, it has those bonus nutrients we talked about before.
Yep, astaxanthin and phosphatidylcholine. And then there's algal oil, which is perfect for vegans and vegetarians.
And more sustainable than fish oil, right?
Exactly. But regardless of which supplement you choose, it's always a good idea to consult with your doctor or a registered dietitian.
They can help figure out the best type and dosage for your specific needs.
Exactly. It's all about personalized healthcare. Now, shifting gears a bit.
Okay, what's next?
Well, one thing that really fascinated me was the connection between omega-3s and cellular health.
Oh, right. It's not just about our brains and hearts.
These fats are actually incorporated into the membranes of our cells.
It's like making sure the wiring within our cells is working properly.
Exactly. DHA in our cell membranes helps maintain their fluidity and flexibility.
Wow. So it's crucial for everything from cell signaling to nutrient transport.
You got it. And speaking of cellular health, we can't forget about antioxidants.
Right. Like a astaxanthin from krill oil.
They help protect our cells from damage caused by free radicals.
Those unstable molecules that can accelerate aging and contribute to disease.
Exactly. And the amazing thing is that omega-3s themselves also have some antioxidant properties.
So it's a win-win. Okay. We've covered so much ground, brains, hearts, skin cells, but there's one more area I want to touch on.
What's that?
Mental well-being.
Ah, yes. The video talked about how omega-3s can have a positive impact there, too.
Yeah, like how DHA might reduce aggression and stress levels.
And both DHA and EPA have shown promise in improving symptoms of depression and anxiety.
It's like nourishing our minds and bodies at the same time.
I love that. You know, it made me think about how our modern lifestyles have really shifted us away from those traditional diets that were naturally rich in omega-3s.
All those processed foods and convenience meals.
Exactly. Maybe that's part of the reason we're seeing such a rise in mental health challenges today.
It's a thought-provoking connection for sure.
It really is. Now, before we wrap up, there was one last nugget of wisdom from the video that I wanted to highlight.
Okay, lay it on me.
Remember how Dr. Rosa talked about the importance of individuality?
Oh yeah, how everyone's different.
Exactly. Our gut health genetics, even our ethnic backgrounds, can influence our omega-3 needs.
So there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Precisely. We have to listen to our bodies, pay attention to how we feel, and make adjustments accordingly.
And when in doubt, consult with those healthcare professionals.
Absolutely. It's about becoming our own health advocates.
I like that. Taking charge of our health and making informed choices.
Exactly. And that leads us perfectly into the next part of our deep dive, where we'll explore some practical steps you can take to boost your omega-3 intake and ensure you're getting the most out of these essential fats.
So we've talked a lot about the science behind omega-3s.
We have.
Yeah.
And all the different ways they can benefit us.
Right. From our brains to our hearts to our cells, it's amazing how much these fats impact our overall well-being.
And I think what's really cool is how Dr. Rosa presented the information in a way that makes you feel empowered, not overwhelmed.
Totally. It's like he's giving you the tools to take control of your health rather than just throwing a bunch of facts at you.
Exactly. And one of the key takeaways for me was that it's all about making those small, sustainable changes.
Yeah, like it doesn't have to be this drastic overhaul of your entire lifestyle.
Right. Just little tweaks here and there can make a big difference over time.
Like swapping out sugary drinks for water more often.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or adding an extra serving of veggies to your plate.
Or taking a few minutes each day to just chill out and de-stress.
All those things contribute to a healthier you.
And Dr. Rosa also talked about how omega-3s can actually help with fitness goals.
Well, yeah. Remember that part about how they can reduce exercise-induced inflammation?
Right? So your muscles recover faster after those tough workouts.
And they can even improve endurance and stamina.
Yeah. So they're like a secret weapon for athletes.
You could say that. And he also mentioned how omega-3s can support healthy joints, which is crucial for anyone who's active.
Makes sense. Whether you're a seasoned athlete or just starting out, taking care of your joints is so important.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the mental and emotional benefits, too.
Right. When you feel good mentally, you're more likely to stick with those fitness goals.
Exactly. And it's not just about going it alone either.
Oh, yeah. I love that part about finding support from others.
It makes such a difference, right? Whether it's family, friends, healthcare professionals, or even online communities, having that support system can really help you stay motivated and accountable.
It's a reminder that we're all in this together.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, it's not just about memorizing all these facts about omega-3s.
Right. It's about understanding how they translate into real-life choices and actions.
We can use this knowledge to make positive changes for our health and well-being.
Exactly. Dr. Rosa has given us a great roadmap.
But ultimately, it's up to each of us to take those first steps and create our own personalized journey towards optimal health.
And that's what I love about this whole deep dive. It's not about following a strict set of rules. It's about finding what works for you.
Exactly. And empowering yourself to make informed choices that support your unique needs and goals.
So to wrap things up, let's recap what we've learned.
Sounds good. We explored the science behind omega-3s, the different types and their benefits, the best food sources and supplements.
We also talked about the importance of gut health and how our lifestyle choices can impact our omega-3 intake.
And we discussed the power of individuality, finding support, and celebrating those small victories along the way.
It's been a truly comprehensive exploration of these amazing fats.
And I hope it's inspired you to take charge of your health and make those positive changes.
Me too. Remember, taking care of yourself is an act of self-love.
Absolutely. So go out there, embrace those omega-3 rich foods, find a supplement that works for you, and make those healthy choices a part of your daily routine.
And most importantly, listen to your body, pay attention to how you feel, and seek guidance when you need it.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of omega-3s.
Until next time, stay curious, keep learning, and keep taking care of yourselves.